What's up, everybody? The Boxing Source here checking in, and this is an insight on the fight that happened between Naoya Inoue and Marajan Akhmadaliev. That's right, MJ Akhmadaliev, for those undisputed championships in the super bantamweight division, with Naoya Inoue defending those titles. Right now, it ended up being a win for Naoya Inoue by unanimous decision there, where he, scored pretty wide scores there. I guess one score of 10 rounds to 2 and 2 scores of 9 rounds to 3. I think it was 117, 111 or something like that, and 118, 110 for him to, defend those undisputed super bantamweight championships there. And for him to stay undefeated, in a way, pretty much was too much for MJ Akhmadaliev to handle. I know that, leading into the fight, MJ Akhmadaliev was talking about his power and things like that, and that he, Inoue wouldn't be able to deal with his power. But the problem is, he had to be able to get within range of Naoya Inoue first. Inoue was first, he was faster, he was sharper, and he basically was just too much for MJ Akhmadaliev, particularly in that first 6, 7, 8 rounds, to where MJ Akhmadaliev didn't really have an answer for Naoya Inoue. Now, it was interesting because if you know the backstory reference to Akhmadaliev is that, he had been coming up there in the super bantamweight division. He had been a unified champion at one point there or whatnot, and he was supposed to be, fighting Stephen Fulton, there at 122 pounds, but that fight never happened. Now, you fast forward to around this time that he was kind of the last one of those guys left at 122, so to speak, there for Naoya Inoue to challenge before, I guess, either going up to 126 pounds or having another challenge there within 122. So we would have expected a little bit more here from MJ Akhmadaliev, but you didn't necessarily see that. He didn't have any type of answer there for the quick movement. At least, Naoya Inoue just bouncing in and out, back and forth, chopping, getting in a few combinations, being able to send a message there with the right hand counters at the end of a couple of rounds there against MJ Akhmadaliev. And, outside of the 12th round, where it seemed like he kind of stunned Naoya Inoue with a punch, you really didn't see Akhmadaliev do much against Naoya Inoue over the course of that fight. So with that being said, you have Naoya Inoue as still the undisputed champion at 122 pounds. Now, there's a couple things there in store for Naoya Inoue in the future. Number one, he has his upcoming bout against David Allen Picasso that is scheduled for December, right? And of course, that was kind of mentioned, after the fight, post-fight press and everything like that. But you also had a bout between Naoya Inoue and Junto Nakatani is planned for 2026. Junto Nakatani was there in attendance to watch Naoya Inoue fight and everything like that. They had things going on with the post-fight presser. Inoue was talking. You had, Bob Arum talking. Look, you got this guy, Naoya Inoue. He's one of the greatest fighters ever. But, all that stuff was going on. And then Junto Nakatani got up from his seat. Him and his crew was leaving. And then I went over and said, hey, wait. Hey, hold on. Hey, where you going? Where you going? Hey, just because you saw what happened over here. Hey, listen, the fight's still going to happen. We going to get it on Tokyo Dome 2026. So that is a fight that fight fans will be looking forward to in 2026 with Naoya Inoue and Junto Nakatani. So that is going to be very exciting for fight fans once that actually takes place. But in the meantime, looking forward here to seeing Naoya Inoue later on this year, and we're gonna see where he stands of sorts in the pound for pound rankings. Pretty much leaked out where he would stand in the pound for pound rankings on the latest episode of the Boxing Source podcast. But it is what it is. We all saw what happened hours earlier before Naoya Inoue fought MJ Akhmadaliev. So that kind of, stands out, so to speak. But still, Naoya Inoue with a great performance. Yeah, it didn't end in a stoppage victory there, but I guess, maybe credit to MJ Akhmadaliev there for, I guess the sudden movements or tactics, so to speak, in a number of those rounds. But still, he didn't really have an answer for the speed and the technique of Naoya Inoue over there in Japan. So Share your thoughts on first performance from Naoya Inoue in his win over MJ Akhmadaliev and his overall standing in the pound for pound rankings, and if that differs from what we may have here at the Boxing Source. But you can also, if you support, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed already, recently hit 3,000 subscribers. We're still building here on the Boxing Source YouTube page. And until next time, I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.